All right, we're going to have that in its totality in just a few moments, but we're going to start off this morning with the story that has captured the attention of the nation.
The grand jury in Ferguson, Missouri has decided not to indict police officer Darren Wilson in the shooting death of that unarmed teen, Michael Brown. The shooting over the summer, of course, sparked protests, some of which were violent in Ferguson and nearby St. Louis. The streets overnight have been crowded with police and protesters facing off as well.
ABC's Karen Travers has the latest from Ferguson.
Violence erupting overnight in Ferguson, a dramatic scene far worse than the protest that took place immediately after Michael Brown's shooting death in August. Gunshots reported just steps from the police station here. Police cars set on fire. Tear gas launched into the angry crowd.
When I look at our communities torn apart.
Before the St. Louis County prosecutor's announcement about the grand jury's decision, state and local leaders made public pleas for calm.
I'd like to reiterate my call for peace, respect, and restraint.
President Obama weighed in from the White House.
The situation in Ferguson speaks to broader challenges that we still face as a nation.
The 12 jurors reviewing Brown's death met on 25 separate days over a period of 3 months. They heard more than 70 hours of testimony from about 60 witnesses, including Wilson himself and eyewitnesses to the shooting. The prosecutor's office released more than 1,000 pages of grand jury evidence, a move intended to make this secretive process transparent. Wilson testified that Brown hit him. He told the grand jury, "I felt that another one of those punches in my face could knock me out or worse." Michael Brown's mother learned the news just moments before it was publicly announced and ran out of the room in tears and anger.
And she is devastated. She is heartbroken that the system would allow her unarmed son to be killed in broad daylight and the officer not even have to come to court.
The St. Louis County Police Chief said the goal overnight was no loss of life. He said they were prepared, but they could not have prevented this eruption of violence. Karen Travers, ABC News, Ferguson, Missouri.
And as a result of the protests in Ferguson, the FAA has been diverting some St. Louis-bound flights to other airports. There have been demonstrations overnight across the country and gunshots as well. In Oakland, California, angry protesters hit the streets, some even lighting a car on fire there. And then they went onto the highway. They flooded the lanes of Interstate 580. Police had to shut down the highway in both directions. For the safety of those demonstrators, they were able to get the freeway opened up again about an hour later. People also marched in the streets of downtown Chicago, waving banners and chanting, "Hands up, don't shoot." These protests were peaceful. No arrests have been reported there, but as we showed you, some of the protests have been violent. They've gotten out of hand, and that's just the opposite of what Michael Brown's family wanted. They released a statement last night expressing their disappointment in the decision while urging protesters to remain peaceful. Here's part of that statement. "We are profoundly disappointed that the killer of our child will not face the consequence of his actions." The family goes on to say, "We respectfully ask that you please keep your protests peaceful. Answering violence with violence is not the appropriate reaction. Let's not just make noise. Let's make a difference."